Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Taxonomy Tuesday, where we discuss our recent finds, whether they be at the most recent foray or just in your backyard adventures, and try to help each other sort them out. Do show and tell style. If you want to share from your own computer, please put it in the chat. And we have a lot of submissions from email this evening. So if anybody wants to share from their computer, to shout yourself out. Are Toby and Mac here this evening? Jason, let's have some boletes.
All right. All right, so this is from a while ago. This is back in the first week of August from Cumberland County. Not the nicest specimen, but hopefully it has enough features to get an ID.
Does it have little black cup fungus growing on the stipe?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Little slugs or something.
Yeah, it looks like an insect.
Okay.
So, Jason, you think this is Aureoboletus roxanae?
Well, that's what iNaturalist called it, so
Oh,
I
I see.
the tentative ID.
You were at the Wells Mills foray just past Sunday, right?
Yes.
Yes. Did you see a collection of Aureoboletus roxanae on the table?
Mm, so the one, I think so. It has like super bright yellow pores, right? When it's younger.
No, no. Actually, it had very muted color of the
Oh,
pores. As a matter of fact, the whole mushroom is very modest when it comes to the colors, but they're still very pleasing to the eye. It starts with almost whitish pores, and then as the mushroom matures, they do get sort of light yellow, yellow brown.
hmm
So we know now, not only because of that Wells Mills collection, but also because of the other collections, prior collections collected in the Pine Barrens, that we do have the species growing in this ecological niche, which is unusual. I think other than Projectilis, this is the only other Aureoboletus that I'm aware of that grows in the Pine Barrens. That's about it. So I'm not going to argue with this idea. The color of the stem and the ridging that you see, maybe it's actually a stretched out reticulation, or maybe it's just ridging that you see at the upper stem, are in line with the species. However, it often has a bulb on the bottom of the stipe. It's kind of bulbous, and the bulbous theme actually is common to a number of Aureoboleti. There's actually a one from Florida, which is quite rare, that's called abrupti bulbous. That also suggests there's a thickening, or of the stipe toward the bottom section of it. But I have no other proposal for this fairly weathered specimen.
Cool.
Yeah, the colors look believable to me.
Yes.
Did you cut it and see if there was any staining? I'm guessing no, because I think that's probably the right ID. It's just an old
Yeah.
blown out one.
And
Yeah,
the cap has the correct color. It sort of has the sunburst, whatever. Not quite, but there's something going on there. There's like not scales, but maybe small cracks, and that's also in line with that species in my experience.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I think
I
this is a
agree.
good idea.
I
For
think
Okay,
we
once,
cool.
found
AI
one.
actually.
Sorry.
I was just saying that for once, AI actually works when it comes to mushroom identification.
Well, the AI on iNaturalist is probably going to continue to improve because it's user generated. So the more the greater the number of good identifications, the better the AI will get. But it's never going to be perfect. There's always going to be mistakes, I think.
Yes. Yeah,
Mhm.
there's no substitute for the human eye. So, Jason, you found this. Let's see,
Cumberland County. It's kind of
Cumberland County.
outside the Pine Barrens, but still coastal plain.
You know, I've said this before about this particular part of New Jersey, the bottom, very, very bottom portion, Cape May County, Cumberland County. That's an interesting spot because you have an encroachment of quote unquote normal bolete species that otherwise would be found in upland deciduous forests. So that area of New Jersey is sort of a hybrid. It has the Pine Barren species and also species that are not found in the Pine Barrens.
Yeah, interesting.
So would we find like a nixus? Would that we wouldn't would that we don't get that in the Pine Barrens, right?
No, no,
But it
I
might be
haven't seen.
found somewhere like here, possibly.
Y- yeah, we also have more than one in Nixus. We have more than one mushroom that sort of fits the overall description, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's more than one roxanne. I think I might have submitted one of these Pine Barrens collections for sequencing, but maybe it just didn't work out. So we have to be careful because I think the ecology component is important.
Yeah, we found what I think is Roxanae um, on that coniferous stretch along the Nescopec Creek and Nescopec State Park. There's a few oaks mixed in there, but it's mainly coniferous pine, a lot of white pine and hemlock. I was quite surprised to see somebody found that. That was only 2 weeks ago, too. Pretty late in the season for around here.
Yeah, yeah, and I think Nina also found the species. She brought it into Fungus Fest, and I saved it. And it was slightly weathered because she collected like 2 days prior, and I couldn't quite recognize it. Was also quite big and dark, but eventually I figured out it was Roxanae. So I got that one saved, and maybe I'll get it sequenced just to see how different that is from the typical Roxanae found in northern Jersey, say, growing under oaks and hickory or something like that.
In my
So
experience, Roxanae has a sort of a strange musty odor.
I haven't smelled it, but it's a small bolete, and the color of the cap and the stem and the bulbous base and the longitudinal ridging and the pale pores are quite characteristic of it. The one from Wells Mills, unfortunately, I didn't save because Ursula Paul really wanted to eat it. I said, "Oh, go ahead." Yeah, she grabbed all the Leccinellum from there, and I think all the edible boletes walked away with her. I'm like, okay, we know what they are.
All right. Next, I got this is from North Jersey. Possible Hemileccinum rubrocinctum in a upland deciduous forest. Here's an underside shot.
Well, this actually may not be rubrocinctum.
All
It could
right.
be, but it could be something else. Yeah,
That's
there's
the
just
ashtray bolete.
yes, there's a little
Yes.
bit
Did
too
you?
much. I'm sorry, Hunter. Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Did you smell it, Jason?
I don't remember. This is also back in August.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, there's a possibility, that this also could be Leccinellum subglabripes. And I have to again warn you that we have 3 candidates for that species in eastern USA right now, genetically. And the type, which is Pex, unfortunately, from 1887, if memory serves, has not been sequenced. So, but chances are that what we call subglabripes in New England and the Northeast, all the way down to northern New Jersey, is that what that species is. And subglabripes Indiana 01 and Hemileccinum Indiana 01 happen to be something else.
It's funny, like your first picture, I was like Hemileccinum subglabripes, like right there.
The cap color, yeah, it's very light. It's chestnut. It's not darker brown, and that's what I thought it was. So I'm gonna say that there's a good chance this could be subglabripes because it was found so far north in New Jersey. This is where it ends. As far as I know, it doesn't go any further south, nor does the species occur below the Mason-Dixon line.
Isn't
But
there
one of
something they used that they had called subglabripes that's a southeastern species?
Oh,
Or is that
that's the one that uh, uh, is provisionally called enigmaticum by me.
oh, okay.
Yeah, like I said, we have a more complicated picture of Hemlock, essentially of every genus, and all of that needs to be thoroughly investigated, and we have to start from the type collections.
Hmm.
So, this one is a little bit weathered, and as they get older, they do develop more of the reddish tones in the stipe. So I would say there's at least 50% chance that this is subglabripes.
All right, cool.
A good edible.
I haven't tried it, and one more thing, it prefers birch. If it grows like in New England, it really likes birch trees as
Hmm.
opposed to the oaks.
All right.
Yeah, I've eaten it, but not in quite a while, and it's pretty good. It's an okay edible bolete.
All right, this one should probably be easy. This is
Yes,
Suillus of some kind from Atlantic County.
very easy.
That thing's pretty dry looking.
It's a good
Mhm.
edible.
The decipiens.
That's right, Brandon. You're absolutely correct.
Cool. All
Well, that
right.
Suillus decipiens is a good edible. I mean, we don't get it around here, so I wouldn't know. But
Yeah, it appears to be a pitch pine thing.
pitch pine.
Yeah, it's a coastal
Oh.
species and it likes, coastal pines.
We've got some pitch pine around here. I didn't realize. It's just been pointed out to me recently. We have pitch pine in the area.
Yeah, I'll also note I've been finding this well, like 2-3 weeks ago, I was finding this all over in um kind of swampy areas, like in moss and really wetlands. Kind of hardwood swamps, but plenty of pitch pine, you know, all over
Hmm
the place in those swamps.
Actually, it's a good year for the species, and the last good year that I recall was in 2013. So it's been a 12-year cycle. All the prior years, it was like essentially absent. Maybe you'll find, one here and one there, and that's about it.
And
But
anytime you would find them, they were all young. Like you never found like big meaty ones.
they can grow actually quite big for Suillus, that is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But this year I'm finding them that way. The last couple of years since I've been able to ID this thing, they've all been very small. Never really expanded to the size I've seen them go this year.
Yeah, so my theory is that they're gonna disappear for another 10 years. I mean, there might be, fruitings, but not, not a bonanza that we've been observing this year. I mean, we found them at every Pine Barrens foray. People were just bringing tons of them, maybe even more than Suillus color at times. Bass River was there, and it was at, I think it was at Wells Mills, but not as much, and the one before that. So I haven't eaten that species yet. That's on my list.
All
But
right.
based on the fact that it's completely dry, just like Spraguei, it should be a good edible.
I was going to say, I ate a couple last week, and Spraguei. They have the same texture. They're dry. Spraguei is really good. That one's really good.
So
All
you've
right.
tried both species, right?
Yep. Yeah, and they're very comparable.
Yeah. And they're probably also good for drying too. I wouldn't be surprised if they are. Suillus generally is not, but these dry species appear to be quite wholesome when dried. All right. So what do we have
Next up,
here?
possible Pulchroboletus, also from the end of August in Atlantic County. This is the pore stain blue.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of staining, around the pores here, pretty deep.
So you said this was also in the Pine
Color,
Barrens, right?
yes, sandy soil.
Yeah. Can we please zoom in? Just when I see something.
It's weird. It's almost like I don't even know how to word that. Like the pores aren't like consistent. They're almost like a bit messy or something.
Yeah, like a Brillo pad or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's older. It's older, and yeah, uh, they are sort of contorted and malformed. I'm seeing. I mean, typically Pulchroboletus sclerotiorum, and by the way, that name is going to go away because, as we found out recently, Smith and Thiers described the species in 1971 from Michigan under a different name, so it's going to revert back to Bicoloroides.
Hmm.
It's going to be called Pulchroboletus bicoloroides. So that species has a well defined yellow cap margin, so that
Hmm.
projecting free margin of the pylopelis, the skin cap, is often brightly yellow colored. And I'm just trying to look for that character in here. I mean, clearly the species has seen, or that specimen has seen better days.
Yeah.
Um, the flesh should be marbled, in my experience in this taxon. See, I'm not seeing enough of that yellow in here, but it doesn't necessarily mean anything. Overall, it's a good fit.
And here,
And
is this the yellow? Is this kind of a yellow margin here? Is that see?
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah. But remember, there is also a lookalike that only grows in the deciduous forests. This thing is a coastal plain thing.
Hmm.
Sclerotiorum grows in sandy soil, and it doesn't grow in the upland forests. Whereas the doppelganger, that's aptly called Pseudosclerotiorum, which is a new species, by the way. It will be a new species. Only is partial to more basic soils up north and away from the coastal plain, growing under oaks.
Hmm.
So
So
I've always been confused by these. Do these actually start out from or have sclerotia at like the base? Will you find a sclerotium or maybe more than one?
I've never seen a sclerotium, but even Pseudosclerotiorum had plentiful um, thick hypha from the bottom of the stipe growing into the leaf litter, and then there was an explosion of mycelium on the leaves as well, like a mat, kind of a yellowish. So I would be surprised if both of these things form sclerotia.
Cool.
But I never looked for the sclerotia, especially in the pine barrens, because it's very easy to wind up picking up like 100 chiggers and ticks in a very short time.
Oh
All
yeah.
right. And then last up, this is a bolete from the bellplane foray. We have a genus on it.
Right, I think I remember that one. Actually, I don't, because I wasn't in Bellplane. Okay,
Tell me
maybe
we
I've
have
seen
some.
observation.
Yeah. Tell me we have some staining information.
None. I expect no staining for this thing.
Yeah.
I think it's one of many faces of Leccinellum albellum.
Gotcha. Yeah. Dark capped albellum.
Mm-hmm.
What I think I called it on the tag with a question mark. Cool.
Yeah, my it's on my wish list, but I wanted to sequence more of these various forms of albellum and just to see whether it's the same species or not. But from what I understand, apparently it is. But I really
Yeah.
wanted to sequence more of these darker colored ones.
Yeah, because
I think
I was
I think
thrown.
there's
If you zoom in on the pores on this photo, it looked like there was some blue staining uh, in the lower left.
Yeah.
So I thought it was maybe like a porphyrilis or something.
yeah,
Could
I
be
think there's
just an
some shadow.
artifact of digital photography. I'm not seeing any blue or any other color.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the cap texture, cracked and dark, and it's still rugulose, right? A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it can be as dark as this, or it can be almost white. You'll be surprised how variable this species is.
There's a second bolete from the bellplane foray that was much lighter than this, and
Yeah, I think that was the one I found.
yeah, and I was like, I think these are the same thing, and people were looking at me like I had three eyes.
The other one was very white
Hmm.
by comparison. So like I don't they do look the same other than that though, like the stipes and everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Cool.
it's not an uncommon species in the pine barrens. So, I also must mention that this is not a species that fits into either of the two large sections that represent the Leccinum sensu stricto, namely scabra and sectional Leccinum. So this is another critter from another either genus or subsection. I'm just saying that I don't buy Quo's and Ortiz's paper from 2020 that collapsed everything in the Leccinum. I still like to split them into different genera. So it's more of the Leccinellum kind of thing, but
Hmm.
Leccinellum is polyphyletic. And that's why we need to probably create a bunch of separate genera for that.
Thank you, Jason.
Yep.
Yeah, nice presentation of selection of various boletes. I only wish they were in slightly better shape, but we cannot
Yeah.
get everything.
We'll
It's
try
been it's
better
been
next
very
time.
trying times, this fall for mushrooms.
Yeah. Looking forward to the rain on Thursday.
Yeah, the nor'easter. Yes, they
And
say two
Uh,
inches now, right?
and temperatures staying, relatively, looks like it's going to be in the 60s during the day and not dipping into the 30s even at night, which is nice.
I think we're going to get a nice flush of tricholomus and other fall mushrooms after this.
we have many submissions here in the email. Is Toby around? You want to go, Toby?
Thank you, Jason.
Yeah, cool boletes.
Um, I can't do a presentation, just sending the pictures through email is the best I can do.
Oh
One
no,
of
I'll
the,
show them for you.
thanks, one of the mushrooms has been growing since, I think June we noticed it, and there are 6, and they're each stacked in twos. Oh, that's the other one. Those ones come up all the time. We have no idea what they are, but I would assume that they're the same ones that they have spots on them. So I think that's just one family that gets those, but they get pretty tall, and they have like really long caps, and they open up a bit, but not a whole lot. But that was in Hunterdon County.
Coprinosus variegata.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
something like that, except that the cap's a little bit too dark for my taste.
Yeah, the ground color is a little dark, but there's that other one, Romania Gonza or something. I forgot. But it's
Which one?
Coprinosus.
Yeah,
Oh, it
it's
starts with
Coprinosus for sure.
Roman, I think.
Oh no, a Romanisiana is a very different species. This is
Yeah,
not
well, it's
a Romanisiana.
shaped the same way. It doesn't have scales like this, I don't think.
Yeah, I think Dave, you're right. This is in the variegata group if there's more than one.
Yeah, it's an ink cap. Do you see where the gills were turning dark from the bottom up? They're starting to deliquesce. So the one
Yes, these
photo.
dogwood.
There it is.
Now, do you know, Dave, if these are also the ones that you cannot eat with alcohol, mixing them
Well,
with alcohol?
Atramentaria is the one you're not supposed to eat with alcohol, but I think
Right.
all of the Coprinosus species have coprine in them to some extent. So it might depend on how sensitive you are to that combination. They say even Coprinus comatus has trace amounts of coprine. But I've eaten Coprinus comatus and I've drank wine or beer and never had a problem. But I don't know. I don't know about these guys. I've never eaten them.
Cool.
Is anybody
And
writing names?
So these are edible? Because they're popping up all over the place for the past couple of years. I'm not sure what they
Well,
are.
these Coprinopsis, I would be careful if you consume alcohol, as Igor queried about a minute ago.
Doesn't
Yeah.
variegata grow on wood? Were those on wood?
Wood or
These
woody
ones are
debris,
on
sometimes
earth.
buried, sometimes right on wood
Wood
above
chips,
ground.
probably.
Wood chips, yeah, it's a variable.
But sometimes I
That's
think
the
they
thing.
grow from buried wood, so they almost like grow from the ground, and you
Right.
wouldn't even
That's
know if there's
yes,
like wood underneath.
yes, and sometimes on wood above ground. So it's variable.
what did we have here?
I thought they sort of had the look of picacea, Coprinopsis picacea, a little bit. Sorry, I know we moved on, but
Oh,
Yeah,
what's
I
that
think the
species?
caps
I
are
don't know
much
if I know
smaller
that
for
one.
those.
picacea, Coprinopsis picacea,
Picaceus or Picaceus. Oh, okay.
picacea, maybe.
Picacea. Okay.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
that might be possibility.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Well,
forgot about that.
they are dark, but I think their caps are not as robust, in my experience. But maybe
Yeah.
that's what this is. Who knows?
Yeah, that's a reasonable proposal. That might be correct. I've always thought that variegata and Picacea are kind of similar. Okay, so we've got this shelf polypore here. What's this thing?
Is this Ischnoderma resinosum?
I
Yeah.
don't think so.
well, potentially.
Yeah, you know what? In the notes that she had Mushrooms shouldn't but snap easily. They had reddish droplets of moisture on the tops during the summer.
Ah, well, that would match Ischnoderma. So there's two. This one's on hardwood. It looks like so that would if it's Ischnoderma, that would be what is it? Resinosum, resinaceum,
They're
resinosium.
on an oak.
Resinosa.
There are 6 of them on an oak, and they're all stacked in 2s.
So I'm wondering about the color of the context in the tubes. I'm going to check
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it is quite yellow, huh? What was the I'm sorry, I forgot the name of who whose observations these are. What was the texture like? Was it very firm? Was it kind of gelatinous almost?
It had a it was very like moist on the outside during the summer, and now it's not particularly moist, but it snaps like a very firm mushroom, but it wasn't difficult to snap at all. And it's about 1 inch to 1.5 inches thick and about 12 to 13 inches across.
What about Pseudoinonotus dryadeus?
That also produces those droplets, right?
Yeah, yes. And it grows kind of at the base, like these are. This is kind of at the base of this tree, an oak. Yeah.
I will say, when you observed them earlier in the season, were they shelf-like this as well, or
Yes.
did they? Yeah, okay, that's more of a resinosum trait than dryadeus.
Do you
Um,
see those on like live oak like that though? Like,
no, that's a good point. But also the oak one, the one that dryadeus, I think it is.
Pseudoinonotus dryadeus.
Yeah, the context looks too dark for Ischnoderma.
What if they're just old and waterlogged or something?
Yeah, because that's the other thing. When these things get old, they don't look like Inonotus resinosa. I gotta look these names up. But when you find them fresh, I mean, when you find a fresh Inonotus, you know it's an Inonotus.
Yeah, I found some this year and they were, I mean, like giant marshmallowy things. Like,
Yeah, that's what they look like when they're young. They're really soft.
No, this
yeah,
was never soft. It was always like a sponge that felt really firm. And it was a little gooey during the summer on the outside, but it was always really firm and always looked like a sponge. That's the
Hmm.
bottom.
Yeah,
And I haven't gotten spores from it yet.
I don't know if you will.
yeah, they're tough to get spores out of to drop, especially when they're older. But just also to note, there are other species of Inonotus. But yeah, Pseudoinonotus is not out of the question here, right?
Oh, Inonotus amplexans, the underside looks quite similar. But it's, I think, a small little thing. It
So
grows a lot.
we're not considering Ischnoderma anymore because I don't think it's Ischnoderma. Ischnoderma usually has a dark banded cap surface, the top.
Yeah,
I've
and
I've been saying Inonotus this whole time. I've meant Ischnoderma. My bad.
Oh, okay.
I think we knew you meant that though, right? I mean, because that's I think, yeah. I did.
Good.
But it like Ischnoderma fresh wouldn't be fresh in the summer. Like she saw it in the summer fresh, right?
Starts in
Yeah.
late summer. It starts like in August, around here at least.
Yeah,
No, we were seeing them like June, mid to late
Oh,
June,
with the
oh,
drop.
interesting.
maybe. And they've grown from the first time we noticed them, they were probably about 4 inches across, and now they're 13.
Yeah, they've been growing a long time then.
Yeah, I think this is the Pseudoinonotus dryadeus or whatever it's called. Inonotus dryadeus.
I do. I wish I could see a picture of the underside of that mushroom, but I can't find one. But it really we get a lot of these, and I mean just the way it's growing is really typical of that.
I think the shape of this mushroom is more consistent with Ischnoderma resinosum.
Hmm.
These thick margins that are light in color, and the fruit body is darker toward the center, as you can see on the bottom shelf.
Yeah,
But,
you
you know,
can.
I'm not an expert on polypores by any stretch of imagination.
Yeah, about as much as any of the rest of us.
I
But
think
you said
some
it
of
was
you,
never fleshy, right?
Yeah.
And Ischnoderma is very fleshy when it's young.
but it becomes corky in age.
Yeah. But the edges, when they're young, should be pretty fleshy. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, this is what it might look like when it's older, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't say I've seen like can think of what it looks like old, but
How,
this
how, yeah, how big was it again, Toby?
It's about 13 inches now, but it was around like 3 when we first noticed it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was always like a conch. It was
Yeah.
never smushy,
Yeah.
never like mushroomy.
Did you smell it? Was it sweet?
I don't think we've noticed a particular smell. I can get a piece from downstairs. We can get a spore print, but sounds like I'm not going to get one. I put it in a jar of alcohol to see if I get any color from it, but I haven't seen any so far.
Alcohol, huh?
Yep.
I have to try
A
that.
Well,
old Ischnoderma resinosum develops an acute cap margin. So when it spreads out, it's no longer rounded at the margin, and it usually retains a dark brown and gets even darker brown on the upper surface. This doesn't really look like Ischnoderma resinosum to me. I see a lot of that around here.
Cool.
yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, Dave,
For-
I found an old big one today. I just put it in the chat. And it looks nothing like this. And I'm pretty much convinced the thing that I found today, it still had a bit of elasticity, a bit of fleshiness to it, and it was over a foot, you know. So I'm going to go against my initial Ischnoderma resinosum.
Yeah,
And
it gets really big. It spreads out. It gets really big. It usually remains dark and banded somewhat on the upper surface. And when it spreads out, the margin becomes sharper, like more acute, not rounded like this. When they're fresh, they're rounded, but this doesn't look like a fresh young Ischnoderma either.
I think
Just
like even more importantly is that this specimen is growing on this like live tree, and if you look at what Brandon's Ischnoderma is growing on, that it's very dead. And
Yeah.
like I find that that's what's really neat about mushrooms is they like their substrate at a different a different stage of life, and they're pretty consistent on that. You know, like shiitakes need like a live oak log, but you know, like the white jelly fungus, like is going ductifera is going to grow on only logs that are the bark is completely gone, you know. And Ischnoderma, it's like mostly on laying down logs usually rather than standing live trees when I see it. But
Yeah, that's been my experience also. Like this picture we're seeing right here, that looks like that's Ischnoderma right there.
yeah.
See
Well,
how the
Cool
margin
says
is
that.
kind of acute?
Yeah, the margin is as I was putting this in the chat, this photo, I was trying to upload it. And if you can zoom in on the margin, it's much more acute than the final photo, which is a very young growth.
That's
Yeah,
what
there
I
you go.
found
That's the
one day.
young Ischnoderma, and it's really it's kind of soft when it's in this stage.
Have you eaten that? Anyone?
Yes,
Nah, I've never tried
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
it's good.
It's really good.
I've heard
If
it.
you
Oh,
if you get it at the right stage, where you can get the just take like an inch off of a young growth, like an inch off the margin. That part's really good.
So what do you do with it? What do you do?
Just saute.
And
It's probably pretty versatile. I mean, it's really, it's got a lot of water, so sometimes I'll do a dry saute and then hit it with the butter and garlic and onions and all that.
what stage is the ideal stage for eating? Like the younger ones that you showed, or somewhere in between, or
Uh, if they still have that pillowy nature, and when I say pillowy, they're like a marshmallow.
yeah,
Like,
I've touched them before. Yeah, okay,
uh,
like a
that
marshmallow. Okay.
marshmallow at the margin, but with a cap, right? So there's a little bit of structure.
Okay, sounds good. Want to try it?
Nice. Thank you, Toby,
Thank you
and
guys. I
everyone
really
else.
appreciate it.
Uh, Lila, you had some. Did you want to share from your computer? Or maybe she took a break. Could go back in. Who's
I'm here.
Douglas has
Sorry.
one here.
I'm here. Sorry, I was stuck on something. You want me to
Did you want to
go?
go?
Sure, yeah, sure. Um, all right, so I was away. I was down in Georgia last week. So as I said at the beginning of the call, I didn't see a whole heck of a lot, but I did see a few things. So there was this little Amanita.
Oh boy, here we go again.
Hmm.
Is it a lavandula group?
No, it's not.
No.
Ah, okay.
This is the terrifying section of Amanita.
That bulb gives it away, right?
The bulb and the the color, the standing thing on the on the edge of the bulb, that projecting color like tissue, like color of the shirt.
So is that
Collar, yeah.
phalloides section?
No, this is not Phaloides. There's no ring.
No
This is
ring.
section.
Oh.
This is section of Amanita.
Oh, yeah, I didn't see
And
the
I said,
ring.
here we go again, because there's a bunch of these yellow Velatipes, multisquamosa type species that are going to drive everybody insane. It's a very, very difficult part of section Amanita. Some have rings, some don't, but by and large, they all have the same basal bulb structure, and the color of the cap is, various shades of yellow or tannish yellow, and they do have straight cap margin, obviously, and the bulb is present as these white patches of various shapes, sometimes subpyramidal, sometimes very flat. Yeah, Dave can tell you all about these things. They drive him insane as well.
Yeah, I just got back from just took a short break. Yeah, section Amanita. So what is it not? It's probably not crenulata based on the structure of the bulb being
Nope.
having like a limbate vulva. That's kind of interesting. This extended limbate vulva, that's interesting for section Amanita. I agree, it's section Amanita.
Pretty small.
But yeah, there's a bunch of these yellow ones that
Yeah, it's a bunch of panthers. That's what they are. They're subsection Pantherinae. And yeah, these are tough.
All right. We won't waste any more time on it then, because I couldn't save it anyway, so
Oh, you didn't?
no.
yeah, they're good to have sequenced.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that's too bad.
yeah. Well, I have to take it back on a plane and all of that. I didn't have a good way to dry it.
Oh yeah,
Can I ask?
Oh, I'm
Can I
sorry,
ask
where did you
one
find that,
question?
Lila?
taking
Georgia.
this with yourself on the plane is a bad idea. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Can we zoom in on the cap vellum again? The UV on the cap. Did that have a gray color, or is that white and I'm reading it wrong?
It's hard to say because there was a lot of the sand and dirt kind of catching to it. The sandy particles are kind of gray, right? Let's see if I have another picture of it.
But
and
if you look
this
at
was
the
down
wards,
south. You said
if you look at
Georgia.
the wards closer to the cap margin, they're pure white.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're white with dirt on them.
I
But
think they're white. Yeah.
where did you
And
say
that-
this was, Lila? Georgia?
Yeah, Jekyll Island, Georgia.
Yeah, Florida and Georgia get these section Amanita things that look sort of like ones we get, and they're probably different. That appears, like Igor said, there seems to be a lot of these different, or maybe the same thing that manifests different morphology and
Well,
different seasons or different areas.
yeah, this is not Velatipes or multisquamosa because there's no ring. So we have species SO1, which I
yeah.
think is
S01. Yeah, S01.
Russuloides group. There is the one that's Zellini volva that was found in South America, but we have sequences from the Northeast that are identical with the type collection of Zellini
Yeah,
volva.
I've got some of those.
Yeah,
I
these
find
are
those
very
here in the
frustrating.
Scots
Very
wine.
frustrating.
Yeah. 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 To me, the most interesting thing here about this one is this fairly well developed basal vulva.
Yeah.
It's not really it's not the rolled sock. It's kind of limbate.
No, it got the color. It got the color there. Yeah.
Yeah. So that to me is very interesting.
So maybe this is not Pantherinae. This is the other subsection that contains these ringless things, right? What's that name? Do you remember, Dave?
A gematoid.
Yeah, gematoid one. Yeah, yeah.
Gematoid
Mhm.
ones. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Gemate. After Amanita gemata from Europe.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Mhm.
Yeah, it could be the gematoid thing. Very well. Yeah, the vulva in the absence of the ring. Yeah, that's a better, I think, characterization.
Yeah, the very short striations are interesting too. Now, I'm not sure how well that fits in that subdivision, but
But
the striations are very short, and the cap is pretty well expanded.
Yeah.
Yeah, one thing I can say for certain, and this is no velocipes or subvelocipes or multisquamosa.
No, I don't think so either. Those have longer striations and the ring
Yes,
is
and they
more
have rings.
persistent.
They have persistent annulus, correct?
Right. Yeah,
And they have
and the
a
basal
roll.
vulva doesn't look like that. It's just
Correct. It
that
looks like a rolled
that weird
sock. It looks like
gutter.
a thicker like margin type of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. The rolled sock.
All right, let's look at this
Interesting though, good one.
lichen. Is this was kind of
Jason, you're on.
interesting.
Oh yeah, that southern lichen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Christmas tree lichen or whatever.
right.
Beautiful.
It's pretty
That's
Oh, that's a
gorgeous.
nice one.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Mhm. Yeah, I was on a hiking trail with 3 other people and none of them saw it. We had to duck under a tree that this was growing on, and not a single other person happened to notice it. It's pretty funny. But I think that first picture was the best one.
Well, can you zoom in on the last picture you were kind of sat on? Are
Okay.
those like apothecia?
I think they could be.
I was gonna ask, like, what is this thing like considered? Because I mean, it doesn't look foliose, and it's like it's kind of has that like at the edges of it. It's weird.
Jason, could you please give us an overview of the species?
Yeah, I mean it's a southern species that reaches as far north as I think North Carolina. I would guess that this is Corticulus, not crustose.
Hmm.
Did it seem like you could peel it off, or is it pretty stuck to the bark? I mean, that looks pretty oppressed.
Yeah. Yeah,
think that's
I don't know. I
crustose.
didn't try to peel it off, but
Let's see. Hypomyces.
it was
So
in one of the
Jason,
few.
what are the green things and the red things as far as the morphology is concerned?
So the red dots in the middle are apothecia. So those are the structures that are producing the fungal spores. Not sure about the red margin around the edge, why that's red.
And the scaly green stuff in between, that's just the body of the lichen?
Yeah, it's just the thallus. So you're probably seeing some of the algae on the inside, peeking through the fungal sandwich.
Is this species restricted to the coastal plain or it goes farther inland?
I think it's pretty much a coastal plain species.
I think it goes down.
At least, at least in the United States, I've seen this species in Costa Rica up in the mountains, but I think the United States is pretty much coastal plain.
Yeah. It's the little bit I read about it. Central and South America, it's found, and in actually in a couple of locations in Africa, as well as the subtropics of the U.S. So it's interesting.
So nice
So,
to see it. Yeah,
so
beautiful.
we would not find this in New Jersey, right?
No, no,
Yeah,
You said
sadly not.
North Carolina, right? That's the northernmost range.
I think so. Yeah,
And this
yeah,
is
it's pretty
because
rare in North Carolina.
of the climate. It likes to be warm.
Yeah, well, I think it's more that it doesn't like to be cold.
Uh,
which is usually the case for a lot of these southern species that don't go much further north. Is they don't exhibit a winter down there. They've got a growing season pretty much year round.
Is the name in the chat? Herpothallon rubrocinctum.
Rubrocinctum.
Rubrocinctum, sorry.
All right, so then there was this thing way up high in a tree. Like, that's zoomed in 15x, I think, on my camera. That's like, I would say 25 feet at least up. Spanish moss, but I think it's some sort of a polypore, but kind of hard pressed to even see any pores in it. Looks like it's dead wood here, so growing from like a wound on a tree. I think this was probably a live oak. Not so good with the southern tree species.
Well, the Besets must know the species very well because for years they have lived in Georgia. So this is probably in their backyard or something.
Maybe I haven't been home too terribly long yet. I haven't looked in their book to see if I can put a name on it, but it was quite large. So I don't know if it was what it is, but it was up high and
looks like something that would grow in the south, but not in our neck of the woods.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard of the Lactarius Gilbertsonii?
Yes, I've heard of it.
Yeah. But we
Is
don't
that
see any pores in there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's
Must be very
definitely
small.
not gills.
Must be very small. How big was this, Lila?
I would say that was
8 inches?
bigger, maybe 12
Bigger?
to 15 inches across, this big one. It was pretty big up there. It was a lot, quite far away, and it was big. So yeah, at first I'm thinking, all right, is this some sort of Letiporus? But I don't know. I looked all around on the tree, and this was the only growth of it I could see.
Well, I'm reading about Letiporus gilbertsonii, and it says here on Wikipedia, which is actually has good summaries about many mushrooms. This species is found in Western North America from September to November and South America. It has been collected in Oregon and Washington. Doesn't say anything about the East Coast.
Yeah.
okay? Yeah, for some reason I was thinking it was down south too, but no. Okay. Oh, what could that be?
So this is a deciduous tree, Lila, right? Not a
Yeah, definitely like a live oak type of tree, I think. Something similar to that.
How about Buglosoporus?
Buglosporia corcinus.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that has like more of a rounded edge.
Okay.
I'm not sure. That's something to check though. Grows on oak. I think usually oak without bark though.
Yeah, decorticated
Yes.
oak, and I have found that any number of times here in New Jersey, and I've never seen it really look like this. So yeah.
I'm sorry, what was the name that we were entertaining here?
Buglosoporus corcinus.
Corcinus, yeah.
Corcinus.
It's now Fomitopsis, something else.
Yeah, betulina? No, never mind.
No.
Oh, it's changed. Okay.
But
Hmm.
yeah, it crossed my mind, but I don't really think it's that either. So I got to look in the Bassett's book and see if something seems similar. It was, there was no way I could get a piece of it or anything. It was just way too high.
Michael Kous says about Buglosoporus corsinus, saprobic and parasitic on living and dead oaks, causing brown rot. Annual, growing alone or gregariously. Summer, originally described from Germany, widely distributed in Europe, in North America, appearing from New York down to Virginia.
So it can be found on a tree that still has bark on it.
Yes, living
Oh,
and dead
interesting.
oaks.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, my understanding was it grew on old oak wood with no bark.
But Virginia's north of Georgia's.
Correct.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's probably not that. And the size for that species, Koo reports 10 to 20 centimeters across.
It's pretty. It gets pretty big. I found it up here. It's spreading northward. Luke has found quite a bit of it. Luke Smithton has found quite a bit of it in the Philadelphia area, and I have found it up here once, in Ricketts Glen, actually on oak, no bark, and it was big. But it wasn't. Didn't have a sharp. It didn't have like an acute cap margin. It was more like a rounded sort of. I think I'd have to review it. But it's a southeastern species, but it's spreading northward.
What kind of tree is that, Lila?
I think it's a live oak, but I wouldn't bet my life on my idea of
Yeah.
the tree down there. So, but all right. So I thought it was interesting. I thought I would share it.
Yeah, it is.
I don't. How about this? Does anybody have any ideas on what this might be? Also from down there. This is what it looked like. Don't ask me what these leaves are. Was all stuff that I don't know what they are.
Do you have a photo of the underside? Oh, there we go.
I don't think it had any odor. I did not taste it. I didn't mean to snap that off, but it did seem to snap off pretty readily. Didn't seem to be any kind of a milk being oozed. And these are my fingers, so it was pretty small. So I don't know what that was either, but it was one of the few things I saw. It seemed like maybe it had some brown bruising here, or maybe that's just debris that's rotted against it.
Russula of some sort?
Looks like a Russula to me.
Yeah, this one
Yeah.
looks like a Russula, and the stalk snapping suggests Russula, or Russulaceae at least, but there's no milk. So
Yeah, this one doesn't peel, I think. It will not peel.
yeah, it's probably something in section compactae.
No, we got to resurrect Merle. He would know.
All right, so maybe a Russula. All right.
Yeah, he published a lot of species of Russula from Florida when he was there for 20 plus years of his.
Oh, that's right. That's right. He spent a lot of time down there.
Yep.
All right. Here's something from Jersey. That was quite interesting, I thought. So darkish cap, brownish with some yellow tones, some gill forking at the stipe, copious amounts of white to cream-colored latex that stains the gills dark brown. At a pale white stipe that has some small golden potholes, except at the very top. All right, the stipe was hollow. Several fruit bodies growing scattered in a lawn with oak nearby. Later, meaning the next day, I sectioned a fruit body and noticed purple bruising. So, all right, let's fly through these photos. So here
I
you
think
can
you
see.
showed this before, Lila.
Did I? Okay. What does
Yeah,
anybody?
and I don't remember. I think we were just stumped by this thing.
All right. All right. If I showed it, I'll stop
I
then.
mean, let's just flip through the pictures. So maybe,
I want to see. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
remember seeing this one.
yeah, I think we're thinking about something in the Chelidonium group, maybe.
Ooh,
Yeah,
neat.
but the potholes in the stipe. Mm.
Yeah, what does the interior flesh look like? Oh, that's a lot of milk for Chelidonium.
Yeah, it is. And it's the wrong
Chelidonium
color too.
has the pigmented latex and it's scant. So
Yeah, it's
all of
more
those
kind of a grasshopper spit brown. Yeah.
yeah, all of those
Section
section
deliciosi.
deliciosi would
Yeah.
have scant pigmented latex. So this was pretty
All of,
interesting.
wait, all of that section has scant milk?
Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure. Yeah.
Oh wow. Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
I think they all do. Except perhaps indigo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that one at least you can
Yeah.
get it on enough on your finger to really see it.
Yeah, I remember this highly tomentose margin, very pubescent. Lots of fur in there. Yeah, and the staining of yeah.
Really dark stain. So what's that? There's this white one that's sort of like Velimus. What's that thing called?
Right.
Oh
Chryso,
no,
not
that's
the
it. No, that one's white milk that turns yellow. That
yellow.
one,
Right.
that's not this. That doesn't cause all the staining either.
Yeah, I
Oh,
don't think this is
yeah.
Lexifluus. I don't think this is Lexifluus.
um,
And then the staining, it was purple. Yeah, Lila said the stain the gills purple eventually.
Yeah. So slight purplish right under the
Skin.
Pilus, the skin, and then down here it bled down into onto the stipe. That is interesting.
luteolus is what I'm trying to think of.
No, this is not luteolus. We
You don't think
found
so? You don't think
luteolus.
that's luteolus? I mean, it doesn't
No.
look exactly like what I would think luteolus looks like, but
No, this is not luteolus. The cap is very different. I know what
yeah, the
luteolus
top
looks
of the
like.
cap looks wrong. I
Yeah.
agree,
Yeah.
but that's the closest that I can offer. Really.
Luteolus is like creamy tan and a very corrugated surface, and
The surface is sometimes rather smooth. There's probably more than one luteolus.
How
probably.
about Lactarius uvidus?
No, I think
But
we
it's
ruled this one
it's
out
like a
too.
pale version of Velimus.
Lactarius uvidus? No.
Well, that one stains purple.
Yeah.
I'm
I think
but that was
Ovidus is zonate, I think.
yeah, I think so. Yeah. Oh, and
And it's not pubescent like that.
luteolus. I don't think luteolus has a scribiculate stalk, so that
Right.
so that,
And,
yeah,
and the
okay.
pubescence in the young fruit bodies, this is also a strike against all these stacks that we mentioned.
Yeah, yeah. But I know luteolus has a lot of milk and it's pale. That's why I was thinking maybe, but
But it stains the gills brown, not purple.
brown. Yes, stains the gills brown. Yep.
Did you say, would you say the margins bearded?
Bearded.
I don't think
It
it's
may
beard. I
have
think
been
it's just
before it expanded.
it's very pubescent, but it doesn't have the actual long hairs or the beard.
Yeah, but that stuff falls off sometimes on some of those types after they expand. Oh, but there's a young one. It doesn't really look it.
It doesn't look bearded. It just looks densely pubescent.
Yeah, it doesn't look bearded. That's an interesting one.
Yeah, well, look for it next time. We'll maybe
Ye-
try to get it sequenced or something.
Yeah, okay. All right, that's good.
I think we flipped through the milk cap book and we didn't find any matches, or it was just difficult.
Nice. Thank you, Lila.
You're welcome. Thank you for indulging me twice on that one.
No new ideas, unfortunately.
We got some others in the mail here. Is Doug still around?
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah,
Still here.
oh, yeah, there he is.
I'll go downstairs because upstairs I don't get very good transmission. I just have one. It'll be brief. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, coming in loud and clear.
I can't hear you. I'm not sure why. Um, are you still there, Chris?
Sure.
We
Some
can
reason I'm
hear
not.
you.
Some reason I'm not hearing you. Can anyone hear me?
Yes.
I can hear you.
Okay, I don't know what's wrong, but I'll just speak. Yeah, I came across this near Lock 60 in Phoenixville. There's a trail along the Schuylkill River about a week ago, and the color caught my eye. You have two photos, Chris. This is the top surface on a decorticated log, and there's the bottom surface. I flipped it over, and so I thought it was interesting. It looked like a Hypomyces.
Oh, we lost him.
You can still there?
There you go.
Oh, there he is.
Doug, can you hear me?
Oh, we can hear him.
No.
Yeah, I was going to say if this species is if it is this Hypomyces that he's suggesting, then a drop of KOH on the surface will turn vividly purple.
Cool.
Yeah, and it should also have kind of it has like a granular nature, right, Dave?
Oh, yes, like granular. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't think that's what it is. I
No,
would
I don't think
suggest
that's what this is.
No,
I
some
would,
kind of weird stereum or something,
no,
but
it's Trametes
It's Trametes,
specialina.
yeah.
Yeah, it's Trametes specialina.
is it
No,
just super young? Something?
Oh, the guild polypore. Well, you need to turn it over and see.
Hello?
Oh, there we are.
Am I
I
still?
think you're right.
Can
Can
you
you
hear
hear?
us?
Well,
I
we can
think I
hear
see
you
the
at the
guild.
moment, but you kind of disappear. You're cut in and out.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I thought it was Hypomyces or Rantius growing on top of this. It's been reported, I saw it online, growing on top of this, parasitizing this guild, the Trametes betulina. That's what I thought it was. I like the color. It has this unusual ketide pigment called Aureoboletus that gives it that orangish red color. And it was just kind of pretty. And that pigment, if that's what it is, has been used in cytotoxic assays. And there's some research going on with it because it's cytotoxic to colon cancer cells in culture. And it's its chemical structure is known. It's a dinaphthoquinone. And if anyone thinks it's something different, let me know. I thought it was kind of cool.
Doug, can you hear me?
Dave, I can barely hear you, but go on. I'm putting it up to my ear. Go ahead.
Okay. If it is this Hypomyces that you suggest, then if you have KOH,
Yes.
a drop of KOH on the pigmented surface, the part that you think is the Hypomyces, will turn vividly purple.
Oh, okay. That's a good suggestion. I go back there off and on. Hopefully it won't have disappeared by now. It's only been less than a week, so I'll give that a try. I guess there's a lot of species of Hypomyces, not just the I forget the name, the one that does the lobster mushroom on Russulas. I forget its species name, but
Lactarius.
Lactifluus, that's it. And there's one on boletes, chryso something or other. But I think there's over 50 species of these, and they all have this interesting cassette type molecular structure where they synthesize polyketides from fatty acid precursors, and they're hooked up like an operon in a bacteria. There are multiple cassettes that are plugged in and out, and it's to make their secondary metabolites. So it's a very interesting group of parasitic fungi, assuming that's what it is.
Yeah, I don't think that's Hypomyces is present here, Doug.
What for what reason do you think? So what do you think's giving it that decaying the top and giving it that bright orange red color?
Trametes betulina is often orange. It's highly variable.
Okay. Yeah, so you think it's just the straight Trametes betulina. Well, I'll have to try Dave's test then.
Yeah, and often Hypomyces aurantinum,
Yeah.
whatever it is. So that's going to present on the Hymenium. So it'll be present first, and often turn. It very much is an obvious mold that then presents in kind of these bumpy apothecia
Yeah.
on the high medium normally first. So
Well, that's a good suggestion. Thank you, Brandon. And I'll try to have another look at it. Can we look at the undersurface one more time, Chris, and blow it up a little? Yeah. Yeah, hard to say. Don't see a lot on the Hymenium there, as Brandon suggested.
yeah, and I think a lot of that kind of debris that looks like it might be a wispy mold.
Yeah.
The bugs that get into this, they kind of bore out little tunnels and leave those.
Brass.
What's it called? Yeah, there's a
Brass.
term. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, also it looks like this may have been broadly attached to the substrate, which Trametes betulina often does. So you're just seeing like the
Yeah.
irregular sort of
A big patch.
the big patch where it was attached.
Cool.
I'll see if I can have another look at it. Thank you.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Doug.
I'll see if I can pop something in the chat. I've found that Hypomyces before, and it's very distinct looking. So let me find that and I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah, I
Thank you.
found it once and I thought it was Hemileccinum croceus. It was the fruit body was completely covered with the Hypomyces, which was sort of a bright yellow, and the KOH turned really vividly purple on the surface, and I thought, oh, it's Haplolepilus, Haplolepilus, however you want to say it, at Dyer's polypore. But anyway, yes, if there is a Hypomyces on this, it's in the very, very early stage.
Very good. Thank you.
Nice, thank you. Hunter, would you like to go?
Okay, yeah. So I found these locally and actually, wait, yeah, and then the first picture, that blue one, are the spores. Yeah. And it's terrible picture.
Is
They were
that mounted in cotton blue?
methane blue.
Okay, yeah, similar. Yeah.
Yeah, they were very tiny spores. They barely showed up on the slide. I mean, I honestly couldn't really tell what color they were. Those are not them. These are not them.
So the spores here were they kind of lacrimoid, so tear shaped? Looks like they might be.
Yeah, and they had droplets in them. Oil, many of them had oil droplets.
Oh,
It's not really
okay.
showing up well. It's a terrible picture, but yeah, they did. Right. Most of them had those. I think I'm guessing a clatostomy, but I don't know. And um, yeah, I smell wise, it was nothing that really stood out. Um, yeah, and it's pretty bulbous at the base, which you can't really see here, but uh, it did get broader near the base.
Yeah, I don't think it's Clitostomy robusta because that one has gills that are subdecurrent to decurrent, and it looks like these are just adnate.
Yeah, I
Um,
couldn't match it to any, but I don't know what else it would be. Like, yeah. But
Gills,
well,
gills,
if
gills have a
it's
bit
like
of a pinkish color too. Yeah.
I don't think so. No, I think that's just maybe the camera or lighting. Um,
did you
yeah.
get a spore print color?
Honestly, I couldn't tell what color it was. It was I could tell there was something on the slide. I did it on a slide, so
Right.
yeah, and so maybe it would have been better on paper.
Yeah, the downside of taking on a slide is sometimes you don't see the subtle um um what's the word I want? Contrast with a white or a black background.
But if
So with
it's
these, this is going to be pale sports, so you want to see the contrast with white.
but if it's
And
still on the slide, you could put it on different
it's hard
light.
it's hard to tell. I have a lot of trouble um seeing the subtle difference because the slide is just sort of in the way. It's easier to say if you take the print right on the medium where you're trying to assess the spar color.
Yeah, and it didn't drop a lot of, it almost didn't look like it dropped any, but it clearly.
Yeah, yeah, you need a good substantial print also. So let's just suppose that this spore print is very pale, fleshy pink like a lepista, which well now those are colibias. Um, but that it would be hard to see the difference unless if it was right on a white collecting medium, um, or a very very pale yellow, which would be Clitospis robusta. But this doesn't look like Clitospis robusta. You don't have Meltzers, do you?
I do. I do. Yeah.
Yeah, well, Meltzers, the thing that Meltzers would be helpful with, oh, but you know what? Those spores, no, don't waste your Meltzers. No, Meltzers is too good to waste on this.
Okay.
I was going to suggest Leucopaxillus, but the spores are shaped differently. I'm pretty sure. I don't think they're lacrimoid. I think they're more or less just like broadly ellipsoid, but I'm going to check that. Leucopexillus have amylate spores. And so does Melanoleuca, but I don't think these are Melanoleuca either. Melanoleuca have amyloid warts on the spores, kind of like Russula. But let me just check on Leucopexillus because there's a
How
few
big are
species.
these? Like an inch and a half?
Maybe 2 inches.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, and very hardy.
They got them enrolled margins.
Yes. Would Leucopexillus have that? I would think so.
Young ones maybe. I'm looking right now. There's one Leucopexillus that is now put into a genus called Asperopexillus giganteus, but those are really big. Leucopexillus albissimus, I think those have gills that are also kind of decurrent. Oh no, not necessarily. Let's see about the spores. Subglobose, that's what I thought. Right. So these were not subglobose spores,
No.
strongly amyloid. Leucopexillus gentianus, so that's got a brown cap. Leucopexillus picanus. That one's not, looks a little bit similar, but ellipsoid spores. Well, ellipsoid. Yeah, I don't think it's Leucopexillus. It's probably some sort of Clitospy or related.
Yeah. Okay. We can move on. It was not too exciting, and my microscopy is terrible. I found you can go on that one.
Well, it was good at the view of the spores was good enough to eliminate a few possibilities.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so I wouldn't poo-poo it. It was worthwhile.
it was too much stain though, you know what I mean? It was like
yeah, well, yeah, the blue stains are really kind of heavy and thick.
so I
And so
should
you have to
dilute
kind of
them.
wash them out with a little bit of distilled water.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you put a little stain on and then kind of put a little bit of distilled water on there and kind of blot some of it off. That's what I usually do. Okay,
Yeah.
here we go. This next, I never found this thing
Yeah,
ever.
I found it. I found it again. It's Rhodatus palmatus, and it's just so cool. It's really neat. And I love the pink gills. And this was on hickory, which um I found it on quite a few different trees now. But this was definitely on hickory, which I thought was a little interesting. And I did the spores on that. The white spores, it gave out a ton of white spores, and the spores are globose, and then they're kind of or subglobose, and they seem fairly ornamented to me. But I'm not sure. Like like that one. Yeah.
Hunter, how
Yeah.
different is this mushroom from another mushroom that's called Ventinula reticeps?
I don't know that one. At
Because
all.
I saw a bunch of observations in the Mo being renamed from Rhododus palmatus to Ventinula reticeps.
Really? Oh,
Oh yeah.
that's interesting. I'm gonna look it up right now.
What
Because I was surprised. Like I said, I was really surprised on the substrate. So this species name is Reticepes.
Reticeps. Yes. So
Oh
basically like
my!
a
Look at that.
Rugavos cap. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, but wow. Uh-huh. It's so similar.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a new name though. It's not just a new name.
No, it's not a new name. No.
Oh my goodness.
That description, that is a species described from North America, whereas Rhododus palmatus, I think, is European.
Oh, you mean we don't really have it? This is everything we've been calling. Rhodatus palmatus is this. Lentinula reticeps, probably.
That was my understanding, but I couldn't find any explanation why that particular person who has a bunch of the quote unquote Rhodotus palmatus observations renamed all of her observations to Lentinula reticeps.
Fascinating. Yeah.
That is fascinating. And
I-
Dave, you said you never found this. I've never found this. It's one of my bucket list ones, right?
Yeah, I'd love to find this. Somebody online in some discussion board says that this is eventually going to be placed into what is the wrinkled peach genus Rhodopus or
Rhodotus.
Rhodotus, and it's eventually going to be put in there, but a different species.
Oh my gosh. Wow, that's really interesting. I
Now that's just what somebody online is saying. I don't know,
true.
know what they're talking about, but
Yeah, but yeah,
that's what. But
interesting.
the pictures I'm seeing for this Lentinula reticeps, they look a little bit. Oh wait, this one looks really a lot similar. Oh, okay.
And in this orientation, what's the front? What's closer to the stipe in this?
Oh, I'm sorry. What did you ask?
Like in this orientation, which
Oh,
which way is up or the
yeah.
front?
Well, so it's been picked at this point, and
Oh,
I just put it down on top of this log to take the picture because I didn't really have any, like, my little collection box with me, and so I was like, I should have taken pictures in situ, and I didn't, and then I was like, well, in the middle of the hike, I was like, well, I have to stop and take a picture now because it's just gonna get like dirty in my backpack or whatever. It was like loose in my backpack. So
because it looks like it was oriented like sticking out.
yeah, it was at the this hickory was laying and this is not the hickory it grew on, but it is some other hickory. But the hickory it was growing on was fallen. It was a fallen trunk of a hickory, and so it was laying on its side, and this was down at the base near the grass. So I think it might have been growing one way and then maybe changed, or it was just kind of, I don't know, kind of trying to come up from under this log a little bit.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, they're really neat. And I've seen quite a few this year. It's been interesting, but I love the name change. I mean, it's actually makes it more fun to show this again, to learn something new about it, and it's exciting. Yeah. So lentinula, well, but maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
That's so mushroomy.
Possibly, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but it's super interesting. So
And
yeah.
for our entomologists on this meeting, what little critter do we have hanging from the hymeneum there?
I think this is a piece of this.
I agree. I think it's a piece of the mushroom. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So okay. And then what was that last picture? Oh well, yeah, let's go to this. So I went to a foray actually with the Illinois Club on Sunday because they were actually just an hour from my house, rather than two ish, and in somewhat more rural area. So, but this I found there. We can start with this, and
Is this the same thing?
no, I'm sorry, and I know really tried to download these in order. I'll have to start sharing my screen if I don't post to iNet in the future. I'm sorry, but we can
The,
start with this one. I think it's
the,
Trametes gibosa, which I learned from you guys. And there's a picture of a lot of them on a log. I think it's like 3 pictures down, in situ.
Whoa. Whoa.
That one, yeah. Yeah, and they
Really?
were really big, but the one I picked was the smallest one. Just I didn't want to disturb these big, beautiful ones, and I guess they're growing on hackberry.
What is a hackberry?
It's related to the elm trees, but that it's a tree we have here. I really like them. They get quite large, and they have this bumpy bark. It's really neat bark. You'll have to look it up. Yeah, hackberry trees. Yeah.
So I think a common name for Trametes gibosa is the lumpy bracket because the upper surface has bumps that are more prevalent near where it attaches. And that looks like it has them. I mean, the pores
well,
look right,
well,
slot-like.
no. Wait, did we see slot-like pores? They look pretty
Yeah, I think
circular.
so. They was kind of small though,
Well, let's look at the pores again. What are they supposed to be? Slot like?
slot-like.
Oh, yeah, they
Yeah,
kind
they're
Oh,
slot-like.
okay. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm glad we're really
Slot-like, and sometimes they go around corners, and then they're maybe a little bit maze-like.
Yeah,
yeah.
I didn't see them right in the first time we looked at this photo. I thought they were, pretty uniformly circular, but yeah,
Me too. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because at the edge they are more like that, I guess. I don't know.
I
But
think that's actually something that
Yep.
Trametes gibosa does is sometimes has more regularly shaped pores near the margin, but that's something I'm gonna check that right now.
and
Yeah,
when
check
it's
it. Check
not
it, but
too
as it approaches that pseudo stem, pseudo stipe, you can see these ones are very slot like. So I
yeah.
think that's a good idea.
Okay, good. Well, I learned it from you all, so I'm glad to know it. And then at this foray, I found this one which I think I've also learned from you. If it's correct, it's maybe Phlebia. Well, it's not what Marulius tremulosa. Is that right? Or it's something else that I saw that and I wish I took better pictures like once I picked it because I did bring it back to the table and everyone that was the consensus on the name. But then I did see something online that looked as much like this, but it was something else. So I thought I'd see what you guys thought. I didn't get any spores or anything.
I think you're good.
Okay.
Covered in pine needles.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is
whether
the
it's
white pine.
Flebia or Marulius, uh, in, uh, tremulosa, right?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
those are the same, Phlebia and Marulius. They're
No,
interchangeable.
no. I just can't keep them straight.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No, they changed the name on this though to Marulius, I think, from Phlebia,
Oh,
right?
really? So Phlebia tremulosa is now Marulius tremulosus?
Yeah,
Oh, let me see what Michael Quebec says about that.
yeah,
They are independent genera, right?
yeah.
Like the Flebia is correct.
That was your point, correct?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like they are different things. I just can't keep track of what we're calling this thing, but I think it's the tremulosa one.
yeah.
Phlebia is tremulosa.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
what
I think.
there. Okay. Okay. So this one, I think I figured it out. I think it is, I just figured it out tonight, and I think it starts with a B and there's like a Y in it. I'm gonna tell you just a second. I just kind of here it is. I think it's Boterobasidiaceae. Um, I don't know which species, but that's what I'm thinking. But I might be wrong.
Yeah, it's not Botreo proper, right?
Is that
And
what I'm saying? It is, and you're saying it's not that. Is that correct?
well, I think you were putting in the higher family, and I have no idea about the family, right? You
Oh,
said it was Botreo.
yes.
Yeah, I mean, it absolutely could be, but it's not. So when I think of Botreo, I think of Botreo aureum, and it's not that. And I don't think it's anything else in Botreo. But I mean, these were supinate polypores.
Okay. So yeah, I've just scratched the surface. I'm probably maybe right on the family, but then what? Yeah. I mean, and this wasn't. I didn't see it. I mean, I didn't see it in the Beset book. I didn't. I didn't see it on Mushroom Expert. I didn't get to looking at Michael Quebec or anywhere else. But I did find like online, like searching like white paint.
Yeah, I mean, white resupinate polypores, and I actually I would lean against being in the family of Botreo. So I would think maybe something outside of Botreo. Um,
Okay.
only based on like this has obvious pores and they're kind of layered. I would think more something in the family of maybe Antrodiella, like Antrodiellaaceae,
Okay. Is that with an E?
with an Antrodia, Antrodiaceae. But I mean, that's just a guess.
Okay. I'll look into it. It actually seems pretty common. Like I should really figure it out, you know? Um,
Oh, I mean, I've tried to tackle white resupinate polypores. You know, I flip over logs and stuff, and there's a ton of them out there, and they all look very similar.
yeah.
But maybe I'm totally off. Maybe someone has a different opinion.
Well, I'll look into it.
Other than white, I don't think so.
Yeah, it's white.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks. Okay. All right. Well, I'll look into that. Antradiolaceae. Thanks. I think that'll
Thank you.
be all I got. So thank you for letting me share.
Of course. What else we have here? Got I think Igor was next. You want to go, Igor?
Sure. It's 9 o'clock, unless you want to postpone this till the next session. It's up to you.
How's the other 14 folks out there feel about it?
Whatever you want to do, I'll stick around.
Yeah,
But other
like-
people have stuff to do, I'm sure.
I'd like to see it.
yeah, I'm up for a few more too.
Okay, I have 8, but some of them are going to be very quick because this is something that I've seen before. This is just was a photo op, and this is, as you probably know, is our iconic Leccinellum vulpinum from the Pine Barrens. And when they're young, their stipes are white. They don't show blackish or reddish brown scabers. So I ate them. I didn't leave them alone. They were quite nice.
Great picture, and I bet they were really good.
Yeah, they were growing in Brandenburn State Forest. So they just went into my pocket. They were fairly small. I just stumble upon them. I just go there for my walks. I don't go there to collect fungi, but if I see something that I would like to eat or collect for my herbarium, I do collect them. Yeah, this is a thoroughly confused genus, and there's no end in sight to that confusion, even after whole genome sequencing, I think. So we're going to let the dust settle all the way to the end and then put our names in these things, hopefully. All right.
Nice.
It was a good season for them this year. We weren't totally dry, so I was able to find a substantial quantity of these across the Pine Barrens.
Ooh,
This also came
Yeah,
from Brandon
favorite.
Byrne, and on the same date, October 15th. And I think you all know what this is.
alastoma, looking
It's
weird.
Calostoma.
What are we calling it? Ravenellii?
Yeah, I think it's either lutescens or cinnabarina. I'm not sure which one because I didn't excavate these. I just let them be. I just
There's
like the
Ravenelli, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I never heard of Ravenelli either. Or maybe I have. I forget. I thought that we had lutescens and cinnabarina.
I didn't think
Well-
lutescens or ravenellii get that gelatinous, but only cinnabarinus did.
Yeah, I think that's the differentiator. You're right, Jason.
Could you please
I
repeat
think
that? It was sort of echoey.
I think only cinnabarinus gets that gelatinous. I saw lutescens at Wells Mills, including some young emerging puffballs that were still just coming out of the ground and they were completely dry. They didn't have that jelly around it.
Right. We had one at the Wells Mills that was basically this phallic shaped thing, with the with hot lips on the other end. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was completely devoid of all this tomato mess.
I've never seen
Tomato seeds.
gelatin mess like that. That's very interesting.
Yeah. So I don't.
lutescens is going to have the collar, right? So that one's easy.
Well, this one is yellow too. So at least the cap portion or the head portion is yellow. But like I said, I haven't excavated to see the entire cavernous, fruiting body. But as Jason says, this is most likely cinnabarina.
Look
See,
at
this one didn't.
the contents inside the jelly. They look like sort of rods,
Yes.
rather than. I mean, the cinnabarinum. It usually looks kind of like pomegranate seeds in there. And
Well, there are some of those too in there, but
yeah, there's a few of those maybe, and the caps are really pale, but maybe just because it's young. Because cinnabarinum is the cap, at least in when it's mature, it becomes orangish.
yes.
Caps look like they were almost cracking or drying out a little bit. The one on the left has, yeah, those lines and stuff. I wonder if that's why they're a little pale, or maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, I remember the spot where I found them, and this is like a new road that I discovered, fairly recently. But like a gravel road, there's like a network of gravel roads in the park, and this one was sort of a connecting road or a dead end road or something like that. But yeah, I mean, I don't see these colostomas often in the Pine Barrens.
The last time I was in the Pine Barrens, we found lutescens, and it lacked the jelly, and it was
Right.
and it had like I think collar, right? Somebody mentioned the collar.
Yeah, the stalk looks like old degraded styrofoam and it's got
Yeah,
like a collar on it.
right.
And years ago, when Professor Baroni visited us, in November, we found these at FBP Speedwell, and they were lutescens type. They were very long, and they were yellow, and they were completely devoid of all this gooey mess.
Yeah, I think
So,
the stripes are like kind of almost like ribbed a little bit.
no, they're cavernous. They're like, these lacunae in there. It's like, it almost resembles a more advanced version of Aureoboletus rossellii. It's like
Mm.
filled with flutes and, I don't know, spaces and chambers, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah,
Anyway,
they're kind
so I thought,
of
kind of looking appetizing, but I like these things. They're very interesting.
They got cool spores too.
And they're related to boletes as far as I know. I think they are in Boletales. So
Yeah, you're so lucky. I mean, yeah, I would love to see one anytime I could see these is a good day.
Yeah, and just going into it, Cinnabarinum is the leading ID here. That's what this is. Uh, None of the other species have this gelatinous
mass.
pomegranate, yeah,
Yeah.
pomegranate seed thing going on, right?
Yeah, the minced tomato stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Cutting a tomato with a dull knife.
Yeah, tomato has the same kind of gelatinous stuff that's inside with the seeds. Anyway, so got 3 pictures of that and walked away. Yet to be posted to MO. I'm so far behind. Yeah, this was found actually at FBP Speedwell, and I swear there was a collection that I made an observation of but didn't save from 10 years ago from exactly the same spot. But it was like a fused cluster of these growing that were much smaller, but I'm pretty sure that was the location. So this one I did save. And as you probably all know, this is a gilt bolete, one of them. It has a yellow mycelium. Could be, um, what is it?
Rhodoxanthus.
Rhododxanthus, Philopris rhododxanthus, subspecies americanus, if that's even valid, could be something else. But I do intend to get the sequence because we do have a number of species that are apparently going unnoticed. Everybody just assumes it's either Leucomycelinus or it's Rhododxanthus based on the color of the basal mycelium. So we have more than 2 species, probably as many as 6, maybe even more.
Never found one of these. This is crazy looking.
Yeah, just a wonderful shade, like this chrome yellow, whatever you want to call it. It just was just so warm and pleasant to look at.
And they're like they almost looks like they're just so decurrent, it just keeps going.
Keeps going. Yeah, gets ribbed all the way to the tip of the stipe.
This was like one of like the few finds I had at Stokes, actually, one of these, which was fun. Yeah, I love these. It's interesting they were growing in clusters that a
Yeah,
couple of
this one was a
back.
single, but that spot, like I said, my memory of prior collections is quite good. Actually, I'm forgetting more recent fungi where I found them, but the ones that I found before and made impression on me, I remember them very well. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is on the mall. I can probably find it. And this is the spot. It's on that road that basically takes you deep into the speedwell section of the preserve, Franklin Parker. Yeah, fortunately I was there that nobody else picked that place. There was a lot of Leccinellum there too. Most of which I left because I already picked so much of it.
Yay.
So yeah, these are good edibles, by the way. But this one went to my herbarium.
Okay, so any guild bolete is safe to eat.
I presume, yes. Even that, what is it? Philipperopsis.
Boletinoides?
Boletinoides. Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. It's probably edible, but I never tried it. But that's a
And
different genus.
Igor, is this thing larger than your typical Phylloporus?
Yeah, this particular fruit body is quite robust. I think
Yeah.
it's on the larger side of the of these things. Typically, they are not as, yeah. I mean, this was easily, I would
Yeah, it's
say,
bigger than your hand, so yeah.
3 inches. Yeah, I mean, I don't have giant hands, but this was 3 inches, I would say, across, or approaching 3 inches across.
Yeah, I found a few large large ones with the yellow basal mycelium here in Northeast PA, and oak woods usually.
Yeah, there's one cryptic species that has an extra long ITS sequence. I think it's over 1,000 base pairs, sort of reminiscent of Leccinellum. I think it also probably has, these mini satellite insertions into the ITS region. That's why they're so long, these ITS sequences, I think. But I don't know yet. But that one was extra super long, and it was clearly not in GenBank, and I presume it to be, something novel. So maybe that's what this is, or maybe it's something else. Like I said, this genus needs a lot of work. It's not a large genus, but it needs a lot of work. We first have to determine what Rhodoxanthus and Leucomycelinus are. We have to sequence those lectotypes or uh, holotype collections.
I mean,
If
like,
I recall correctly, the whole taxonomy or the history of Rhodoxanthus is rather convoluted.
it might even sound redundant, but like it is, except for the gills, it is oddly boletish. It just, it's so weird
Yeah,
looking.
it is a bona fide bolete. It's a sister genus to Xerocomus. There's no question about the evolutionary history of that genus.
Just the shape of it all. It's just like
Yeah,
it
and like
doesn't.
we said before, think about the evolution of the hymenophore. So there must have been some kind of a branching again into the gills. They just developed independently, maybe from pores, maybe from something else. But it just tells you that boletes don't have to be poroid.
It feels so much like a bolete too. Like if you just like pinch the cap between your thumb and pointer finger, it's like you just know it's a bolete. It's like spongy.
And microscopically, probably it is. It has divergent, trauma, and all the hallmarks of boletaceae. So
Hmm.
yeah, I like this genus. It's. I mean, I like them all, but it's so unique that it makes it more special, I think.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, another great find.
Now the next one is also an iconic species, not necessarily from the Pine Barrens, but this is where we find it, and I think it pretty much is at the limit of its northernmost distribution. This is a muscaroid Amanita, but it's not Muscaria.
Is this Persicina?
This is Persicina, yes.
Persicina. Cool.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a really pale one.
Yeah, and this thing grows almost every year at the same spot. There's like the side road at FPP Speedwell, and it takes you back to the highway, except that it's not the same main road where you park. And the habitat there's like a lot of maple, and there's pitch pine along the road, and there's like a swampy area, and not many trees. It's sort of fairly open, and this is where we find it. Like I said, whenever we go there, we almost always find this there. The peachy pink color of the cap, and the lack of these large terraced, volval remnants on the bottom of the stipe, these concentric rings, suggests that this is Persicina, not Amanita muscaria variety Gisoe, or maybe Chrysoblema, as we sometimes now call this North
But-
American version of European muscaria. So
But
if you look at
as we mentioned earlier, it still has that rolled sock thing, right?
doesn't have the rolled sock, no.
Nah, kind of a smooth bulb.
Yeah, this
Mm.
is a muscaroid species. This is not a panther or a gemata. This is in Stirps muscaria.
Now, does
And
this have a partial veil, or does it just have a very weak partial veil that usually drops off?
you know what? I found them with rings, and I found them without rings at an early stage, and the vulval color also varies. I found I have an observation on the Mo that has the same color as that Philophoris that was like chrome yellow. It was bright, but this thing has white patches on the cap. So I always wondered if something else was going on there with these Persicinus. But you can still see this bottom of the stem. There's remnants of the vulva, but it's not structured as prominently as it is in Muscaria variety Gisoei. This one I think didn't have a ring. I think I looked up, dropped to the ground, and I didn't see a ring there. So I don't know what's going on with the ring. Sometimes it's there, sort of, and sometimes it's like it's never there.
I feel like when I've found those in down south that they've been ringless most of the time.
Do you think
Yeah.
that it's a membranous ring so that when it falls off, like the whole thing falls off?
Yeah, but you would see remnants on the ground, and this was not disturbed. I didn't see anything around the spot where it was growing. So I think it was just ex-annular from the get-go.
Wow.
So if you look at the um, early paper by Gemmel and Tulas from 2008, this is where they discuss exclusively the Muscaria group from around the world. They have like a 4-locus tree, and they claim that all the 8 lineages there are separate species. So that's like a precursor paper to the separation of our Muscaria from the European Muscaria. And this particular species was not called Persicina at the time. It was called Amanita muscaria variety Persicina by Jenkins. And then 7 years later, after that paper was published, Tulos and Gemmel promoted this species or subspecies or variety to a species. So now this is called Amanita persicina.
Mushroom expert says that it has a partial veil that leaves a skirt-like ring. So maybe, but it's interesting. I think there's other examples in section Amanita that are usually no partial veil, but sometimes there's a very sort of weak partial veil. Like even I believe I found Alba creation with a coating over the hymenium that seemed to me to qualify as a partial veil. Although it wasn't going to become a ring. Probably it was a young one, but it's kind of an interesting question.
Yeah, there's some weird things that we cannot explain, and if this is one species and it's becoming sort of variable in terms of some of its morphological traits, like the inconsistent color of the warts on the cap, and either the presence or the absence of the partial veil. So I'm not sure what to make out of this confusion. And I certainly don't want to spend more money sequencing these things, especially with ITS.
Well, if you can get some during Myco Blitz, you can send them in for free or maybe $3 each.
Yeah, but I don't have an INET account, and I'm not going to get one
Oh,
anyway.
oh,
So
right. Yeah.
yeah. So that's that. I was happy to see it because it's not a common species anyway. It goes as far north as southern New York, I think, according to Rod. Now, jumping into Bass River Forest foray on the 18th of October. These are small mushrooms. Don't let the picture deceive you. These were quite small. They were no more than 2 inches tall, maybe inch and a half. And if you zoom in, they are poroid.
Boletopsis?
Well,
Albatralis?
I thought it was albatross or
Albatross. Okay.
yeah. And like I said, I don't know anything about this genus. I've never seen these mushrooms in the flesh. And as it turned out, this is a good year for them because we found a bunch more of apparently this species and another species at Wells Mills. So these are saved. One of the salient features of this collection was that when you handle it, it turned yellow, and when you dry them, all the exposed flesh that was cut also turned canary yellow.
Wow.
Yeah,
I looked
when I said albatralis, I said that questionably. I mean, does any of that track, especially with like a uh, uh, kind of an annular region? Is that what we saw there?
I don't think there was any annulus in these. Although I see what you're saying, I'm not sure what to make of this, whether this is just dirt.
So
Sort of.
these yellow staining albatralis, I'm pretty sure this is the same thing that was found. Quite a bit of it was found in Cape Cod
I
last
saw
year.
your observations, Dave. Yeah, I saw them because I looked specifically for a species that's called subrufescens. And Albatrellus subrufescens is a myrtle species from Florida.
Oh.
So that fits the bill because this is an Albatrellus from the Pine Barrens.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's a mention that they do stain yellow. So, like I
That
said,
was one of the features that was
yeah,
highlighted. The
and
yellow staining.
so it stains yellow when you handle it, and when you cut and dry these in a dehydrator, they really stain yellow. I mean, completely. The pores and the exposed, flesh, they're very hard. They're very meaty. Um, the knife was like slicing through them like a Gouda cheese. It was difficult to cut them. They were very
Yeah,
thick
it's like a hard
and dense.
cheese, whereas Boletopsis is actually even harder, almost like a polypore.
They grown in moss?
I didn't collect these, but yeah, I think I see some mossy remains on the bottom. Yeah. I have no idea who found them. We had very few people in there. I came to the foray at noon. Didn't go to the foray, just came to the ID session. And people sort of disappeared very quickly. I was the last person to leave shortly after 2 o'clock. So maybe 2:30. So yeah, like I said, I have no experience with Albatrellus, and but I know the genus. but this is my first time actually handling specimens from that genus.
Cool looking.
Yeah, so cool. It's another really great unusual find.
Yeah, so possibly subrufescens. I don't think this is a vinous, which is European. Now, this one really was interesting to find. I think this is a Hypomyces Lactarius. And if you know anything about this particular type of Hypomyces, please speak up. I thought John saved this. I should have saved this myself, but I got distracted and I forgot about this. So there's a possibility that this was never saved. But I'm pretty sure that this is a Lactarius that was attacked by a mold only on the pores, on the gills. Otherwise, this fruit body is completely intact.
Hey, before with Doug's Hypomyces, like is this that granular look?
It has a granular look, yes.
Yeah, those are Parathecia.
So parasites are very host specific. And I wonder where there's a particular species or one or two that affect specifically Lactarius. And
At
they're
least
white.
two. At least two. But I mean, they both start out as white, right? The more
Uh,
they, the
you
more
know the
they,
names?
Those.
Do you know the names, Brandon?
for the ones that affect Lactarius, you have
Yes.
the lobster mushroom, right?
Yeah.
Hypomyces
But
lactifluum.
I thought that one likes to attack the deceptivus type things that are hot and big clunky, funnel shaped Lictifluus type Lactarius.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I don't remember the name of the other one, but there is another one.
Yeah,
Um,
Torminosus grows on Lactarius, but my impression is it's not white. It's like beige, kind of brownish, but maybe it changes color as it ages. So I'm gonna look.
I showed you guys a couple Volimus this summer from like early on, and you guys
mhm.
suspected the same thing, that the gills were like extra white, and you had suspected a Hypomyces on them. And so just saying, do you think this was Carugus, or what do you think it was?
I don't think this is Carugus, or it doesn't look like Carugus to me.
What is it? Do you know?
I have no idea. I mean, like I said, other than the
Mm.
hypomycized gills, the rest of the fruit body is pretty intact. It's a little bit weathered, but this doesn't look like Carugus to me at all.
It looks like on Michael Quebec. It looks like Torminosus starts out white.
Hypomyces terminosus?
Yeah, yeah. I've just glanced at a photo. Yeah, it looks like it's white and then it becomes yellow, beige, kind of yellow, light brown. And I think this thing is specific to Lactarius. Let's see what it says. Good night. On Lactarius basidium, yeah, of the pubescens torminosus group. But I think I found it on some other kind of Lactarius. I think it was last year. I think it was also in Cape Cod where I found this.
Yeah, so
But
they named this after the species of Lactarius because I do know Lactarius terminosus.
yeah,
So
they named it after the Lactarius. Yeah, but
right.
I think I found it on a different kind of Lactarius. Let me
Is
see if I
is
find that.
Torminosus one of those kind of shaggy ones,
Yeah,
tomatos ones?
I think Torminosus is bearded actually.
Yeah, I showed that one a couple
Yeah,
months.
yeah.
Yeah,
That,
and that's the poisonous. Well, maybe poisonous. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, but it's beard. bearded, right? It's
I think.
hairy thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Let me check that.
Yeah, and it was kind of pink capped. And
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Michael Kuo talks about two species of Hypomyces that attack Lactarius. One is called Leccinellum, and that one goes apparently species after species in the Dolichiosi group.
Yeah, but that one's green. That one's like yellowish
Yes,
green.
they're green, right? There's also a green Hypomyces that grows in Russula. I think it's called Virides or something like that, or
Oh,
Viridae,
luteolus.
or Luteo something. Yeah, Luteo Viridae. Yeah, thank you. And the other Hypomyces that he talks about is Hypomyces spadicius, which is the same as Lithuanicus and Terminosus.
Ah,
And that one attacks Lactarius pubescens, Lactarius terminosus species that are associated with birch.
Right. Yeah, and those are the hairy ones, the bearded ones.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Which we only find in the Stoke State Forest. I don't think they're here in South Jersey.
So when we're talking about this thing, which Lactarius might this be? I mean, this kind of looks like a Echii, like a darker purplish concentrically zonate type deal.
I don't think it's zonate. It kind of resembles one of
Oh
these
no,
cryptic
no.
Lactarius kind of rufous type deal that are sort of reddish brown and they have concolorous gills.
Yeah.
Nobody knows how to, but name them. But this one was fairly robust. I mean, overall, it's in good shape. I'm not sure if the dark brown stipe is its original color or whether it just got darker after colder temperatures or maybe drying out.
Well,
Um,
it looks very shiny, like a slug has been on it, perhaps on the up,
Possibly.
uh, on
If
the
we
upper
can
part.
zoom in, maybe we can see exactly what that shininess is. You can see my reflection there, right?
Yeah, there you are.
Right.
Oh, it's also kind of missing, like where I
Yeah,
shining, it's actually kind of torn or
Yeah, this is like a missing piece of the skin or something.
and
Yeah,
maybe staining red a little bit.
can't say really. I surmise that the gills in this thing were not white; they were sort of colored like brownish red or something like that, similar to the cap and the stem. You can see the unhypomicized gills that are not white, unless this is like an artifact of infection. So I should have saved this, but like I said, sometimes you get distracted, and I gave it to John because he looks at Russo's and Lactarius, and I thought he
Yeah,
would
but
do more about this.
what do you do with this? Like, if you want to sequence the hypomyces,
Oh,
because I think
I mean, this has to be nanopore sequencing because it's going to
yeah.
give you both.
Nanopore will give you both species, possibly.
Yes, yeah. Sanger is going to give you a bloody mess. Don't do Sanger with that.
Right.
right,
That'd be a waste of money.
don't just send this in to one of the you know myco blitzes because
Well,
you'll
the
get nothing
microblitzes
back.
are there. That's nanopore.
Yes, Michael Blitzes are Steve
Steve
Russell.
might get this for you.
Yes,
Oh, okay,
yeah.
cool.
Nanopore. I'm not even sure who does Nanopore anymore, other than a company in Oregon that I recently used to
Oh, you
sequence a
mean
bunch of
You mean
things.
Sanger?
Yes, I mean Sanger. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Nobody else does Sanger because it's not high throughput and it tends to be expensive. Bye, Hunter. All right, so let's move on. We're almost at the end.
I'm not leaving. I was saying goodnight to other people who are leaving.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I misunderstood that.
That's okay. I'm still here, believe it or not. Keep going.
All right. So I've seen this before multiple times, and I still don't know what this thing is. It gives you an impression of something in the Gymnopus dryaphilus group, but these were big. I mean, these were huge for things that, you know, in that genus or group. I mean, these caps were like 3 inches.
Was this pine barrens?
Yes.
There's this rhodocolibia that grows in pine barrens.
Well, it's not that, I think.
It's not that one? Okay.
Yeah, look at the cap. You know, it had this
Well,
sort of a
what
pinkish orange hue, and it was finally cracked. And I've seen this
what
before. I mean,
what rhodocolibia were you talking about, Dave?
I forget
Maculata?
that species name.
yeah, maculata variety, scorzioni or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's a
Right.
variety of yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't
Okay.
think that's it. You know, look at these gills.
Scorzonia, right? Yeah.
I mean, this has more of a character of Gymnopus than Rhodocolibia, and we've seen these before, not only in the Pine Barrens, we've seen them somewhere else, and I just
It's really
cannot.
robust for a gymnopus, though.
It is, yes. So that's why I don't think this is a Gymnopus, or at least not
Right.
Gymnopus dryaphilus.
Well,
But
I
if you
think
zoom in on the
one of the rhodocolibia, megacolibia, not megacolibia, but yeah, one of those gymnopoid things.
colibioid things, yeah. I know. I
That's
mean,
cool.
the cap color and the way it cracked, you know, this like fine mosaic type crack was very specific. I only see it in that species. So I'm like, what is this thing? You know, just zoom in and you'll see what I'm talking about. You know, it just does that.
Oh, huh.
See, there are like almost scales in there, like something is protruding from the cap surface. There are these scruffiness, and at the same time, it's just, you know, becomes more cracked and you know, like a mosaic type thing.
Okay, I'm gonna check something. The Leucopaxillus, there's a brown one. I think it's more of a southern thing, though. Let me just check.
Yeah,
Well, southern's good because a lot of things crawl up from
Yeah.
let's have another look at the stipe.
Yeah, there's more photographs. I think there's like a zoom, another photograph that's zooming in into the gills. Yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah. These were pretty sizable. I mean, they were not like, you know, small mushrooms.
Let me see those gills.
Yeah,
Are they
they're
serrate?
serrate. They look serrate.
Yeah, let's see. There's like a third picture I might have sent that has a close up of the gills.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like they're just a little wrinkled, actually.
Yeah, this one. Yeah. So if you zoom in, they're sort of wrinkled, and
Yeah, sort of
I think they
wrinkled.
have straight edges, or maybe not. They're serrate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
A
are
little bit, yeah, here and there.
Yeah, here and there, but not like, you know, consistently serrate.
jagged.
Jagged, they're not like, you know, a straight line
All
edge.
right,
It's
there's
like,
there's this species of Rhodocolibia that's kind of like Butteracea, but a little bit different. Let me see if I can find it.
I should have said this thing too, but I also think I gave it to John. You know, I don't know if they take home a lot of stuff, but a lot of it just winds up decaying after a while. They don't dry them.
Did you section one of these things? I will say the stipe does not look like your typical gymnopus.
No, it doesn't. And it's also quite thick. It's like finger thickness, you know, it's like your,
Yeah,
you know, fingers of your hand, that kind of thickness.
you would think it has the appearance kind of a pithy type thing, you know.
Unfortunately, I didn't cut these things. I did thoroughly photograph them as much as I could. And I think I just passed them on to John. I said, John, we've seen these things before, and they stump me. I don't think we ever got an ID for these things.
Was it fragile or no?
Yeah, it's sort of, yeah, it's something that kind of, made me think it would crumble. The caps were rather thin, and if you did try to snap them, I think they would probably break off easily, just like in Russula or something.
Yeah, but it couldn't possibly be a Russula.
No, this is not a Russula. No, no.
Okay.
I don't think this is a Russula.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think the closest thing to compare this to is that the maculata thing. Which Clibia genus?
Rhodocolibia submaculata,
Yeah, yeah.
or just maculata.
I would say maculata, but it doesn't have the dots. But the gills are so tight.
Yeah, well, it is, quote unquote calibioid in a sense,
Yeah,
Gymnopus
it's
calibioid
not shaped
association.
like Rhodocolibium maculata, which is usually just like hemispheric. It's
Yeah,
flat on
a
the
very
back.
pulvinate cap, like
Yeah,
an
Yeah.
umbrella. Yes,
yeah,
hemispherical. It doesn't have
yeah.
this
This is
wavy margin that you find
right.
here.
And those dots on the mature. This thing looks pretty mature. For maculata, you
Yeah,
get
you
those
see,
reddish dots.
maculata never has that pigment. Maculata is white, and then it gets those brownish orange stains on the cap. So it becomes mottled. This thing is consistently, has a consistent pigment, and then it also cracks and scales. And
Yeah,
maculata doesn't do that.
yeah. The cap is super interesting.
The cap is very dry. I did touch it. It was very dry and rough.
Dave,
Yeah, the
what do you think?
Leucopexillus species I'm looking at on Mycoquebec, the gill edges are they say the gill edges aren't entire, which is Mycoquebec speak for not serrated or crenate or anything like that.
So would you think that supports or would lean against that identification for this
Oh,
one?
I don't think it's Leucopexillus. I mean, if you have melters, you can get some spores and see if they're amyloid. I think all the Leucopexillus have amyloid spores.
And maybe it makes sense to shoot an email to Renée Leboeuf. Maybe she knows what this is right off the top of her head.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this will go on to MO because, I do want to post this. And I think I have one more observation, which is going to be hopefully brief.
That last
Unless
one, that last one was cool. That's an
the
interesting find.
Calibia, yeah, it is interesting. And like I said, we've seen this before, not only in the Pine Barrens. I think we found this with Wawayanda a year or two ago. Now, I think I can identify this to a genus just by looking at it, but I don't know what species this is.
Hypoloma.
I think this is a Molossaby.
Oh,
What do you think,
Oh,
Dave?
okay.
And by the way,
should
this
find.
collection is preserved. The skin of the cap is very scaly. You can see. I tried to photograph or zoom in as much as I
Yeah.
could, and you can see this like oppressed, sort of woolly oppressed fibrils forming a coating.
Kind of like Melassaby unicolor, but I don't think it's that.
No, I don't think this is a unicolor. No, but it's a
No, but
Molossaby.
it's similar. Yep.
Similar, yeah. Um,
Yeah, I think unicolor has also like ornamentation on the stalk also. I think. Maybe not. I forget. I have to check that. But they're big. They're pretty big for an Acidaceae.
Yeah, I know some of the collections that I sent to Linus of Molossae or Trinidad Molossae were like, the caps were like, almost 2 inches or something like that in diameter.
Yeah.
That was pretty interesting. I think he put a name on them. I have to look it up. I typically ignore these things. It's just too difficult. There are too many of them, just like Hiballoma. It's like,
Well,
I mean, at
I,
least Hiballoma is completely resolved. You can go to the website and at least you can look up all the species and try to work for them.
Yeah,
But,
yeah, if you want to do a lot of microscopy, measure cystidia in, 3 different areas of its length. Check to see if the spores are ornamented, if they have a loosening perispore. You need a really good microscope for a lot of this. But if you can do all of these things, then you just go to Henry Becker's website and fill in these fields with you rank, like
yes,
how dextrinoid are the spores, you know, things
right.
like that.
Yeah, all the taxonomic or microscopic minutiae, you just put in that information, and it's going to
Yeah,
spit out a species at you. Or
yeah,
you can go to his section or functionality in the website where you say, I want to know what kind of Hibballomas grow only in New Jersey.
ah,
And then it's going to give you like